Everybody, what's up, y'all? Good morning. Welcome back to my channel. TammyTalks here. The Ultimatum. So the final two episodes came out today. Thought it would just be one, but I'm gonna do two separate videos anyways. So we are here to talk the Ultimatum, season 1, episode 9, Ultimatum Day. If you're brand new to my channel, you found me from the recommended video or the search page, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, anywhere I've been sharing the post, or just somebody told you, go over and check me out. Welcome. I do breakdowns of TV shows, both scripted and reality, interjecting my own thoughts, opinions, and theories into each and every recap. So, if you enjoy that type of content, please consider subscribing to the channel, thumbsing up the video if you enjoy this content, and then hop into the comment section so we can talk about what went on with these four couples. All right. So let's start off with Shanique and Randall. I don't know if Randall's suit was too small because I feel like I've seen men wear suits that are tapered like that, but then you don't have on these black socks and brown shoes. All right, Randall. But Randall and Shanique I feel like they had a really rough road ahead of them. I still personally do not think that an ultimatum is the best way to get to where you want to go in terms of something like this. You want to be married to this man, but you're kind of like rushing him to. It's odd. I'm not saying stay around and wait forever, but by all means, like rushing him and telling him if you don't propose, I'm leaving. To me, that seems not the best idea exactly on getting engaged, but I guess it works for some people. So she has learned that she has not been the most appreciative of him. She's acknowledging that some of the things that he did and how he like carried himself with her, she took for granted. He said that he has always wanted her to be his wife. He knew from the first moment he saw her, he just didn't know how to show it, and he was so scared that he was going to lose her that he would in turn kind of do things to kind of maybe dangle a carrot in front of her to see if she's going to stay or not. So he gets down, he proposes. He's crying, she's crying, waterworks. It's very emotional for everybody involved. He then said he had to Google which finger to put it on. I can't tell y'all how much I hate when people say that because you didn't, right? Like it's literally called the ring finger. It is called the ring finger. Called the ring finger. So it's not like you had to really, it's not like they're all just called fingers. You know what I mean? So I hate when people say that because it's like you have seen other married people. You have seen people at weddings. You have seen people on TV. You know that your wedding ring, your engagement ring, goes on the left hand on the ring finger. I do wish them all the best. I have not watched the reunion yet, so we'll see what happens there. But I wish them all the best. You know, black love always. So then we have April and Jake. She gives this speech about how he is her best friend and she loves him and all this other stuff. And he said that he loves her and he cares about her. And he wants to make sure that she fully knows that and understands that. I do love you. I do care about you. She said, but that's all I wanted to hear the past 3 weeks. And see, I think April's problem is that when Jake gets in those moments where he is vulnerable and he is expressing how he feels about her, she comes in and says something like that, which can be taken negatively because it's taken as not as a diss, but it can definitely have a negative connotation with it. Because all she had to say was, "Oh, I love you too, babe." You know, something like that. It's like she's always on the offense, on attack mode. So he said that he, wants to marry her, but he's not there yet. He's not there yet. So he does not propose. So she then says that she wants to be married even if it is not with him. And see, I feel like April just wants the idea of marriage. She just wants to be able to say she is somebody's wife. Because the fact that you're so interchangeably like, all right, well then I want to be married and that's what I want. And if it's not with you, I'm going to go find someone else that does want to be married. Like, that's whatever, girl. She's also like 23. So I don't understand. Like, there are people that are still in college at 23. So I don't understand why she is rushing into this. But whatever. So they break up, and she goes on about her business. Ray shows up, and he gives her a bigger hug, a better greeting, a more intimate greeting than he even gave April. And he tells Ray that, she's an incredible woman, and she deserves a good husband and relationship and all this other stuff. And he gives her holds up two plane tickets that are to go anywhere in the world that she wants to go, and they are planning to go on a vacation together. I'm shocked. While I do want them together, I think they're a good fit. I mean, I keep saying they look like brother and sister to me, but I like them together. But my whole thing is like, you said that your mother's approval means everything for you. From what we saw, your mother was pushing for Ray. Your mother wasn't exactly really on board or seemingly impressed with Ray. I'm sorry, your mother's pushing for April. Your mother wasn't seemingly on board or really impressed with Ray when we saw her. But I hope it works out for them. I mean, y'all done ended your relationships to now embark on something new with someone else. I think Ray needs to keep in the back of her mind that she put up an ultimatum with her boyfriend to come on this show to get him to propose because she was ready for marriage. Jake is somebody who his girlfriend imposed the same ultimatum on him. He literally just told his girlfriend he is not ready to get married. So you're willing to wait another 2 years? I think the show would be a little more impactful if it wasn't couples that were all there for ultimatums. If they had just other people, other men and other women that are truly ready to be married and ready to have, that type of serious long term relationship that weren't part of an ultimatum themselves. Does that make sense? But nonetheless, I truly wish them the best. I hope it works out. April, this is just a testament of sometimes when you push people back up against the wall, you're not going to get the response that you wanted. Now, you were in a relationship where you guys were working through your things, and he probably could have been ready to be married to you in a couple of months once there were some changes made and your attitude and you guys' communication, but you didn't want to wait that long. And because you didn't want to wait, you don't basically pushed your dude into the arms of another woman. Now, what happens if he proposes to her in 9 months? He proposes to her in 6 months. Then what? So then we have Madeline and Cody. Talk about a couple I could not give two about. But Cody proposes, Madeline accepts. I really just feel like they just want to be on TV at this point. But I'm also very interested to see how they are doing at the reunion, because a lot of the stuff that she said during this, if I was him, I would kind of have an issue with. I would kind of take issue with a lot of the stuff that she said in regards to, I'm not ready to marry him, I want to date around, I want to do all this other stuff. And I think Kobe knew that, because after they got engaged, he had a whole priest come up so they can do the ceremony part of a marriage. And then she said if I wasn't ready to get married, I would not have accepted his proposal. Good riddance to the both of us. Good riddance. So then we see Zay, who is packing up by himself. And okay, so I got some comments that I was not maybe as sympathetic to Zay's upbringing. That's not the case. You can be sympathetic to someone's upbringing. You can be sympathetic to someone's struggles and their traumas and still call them out on bullshit. And I think far too often, a lot of people like to make it seem as if so-and-so has had a traumatic past, or they have had a not so favorable upbringing, that we have to kind of hold them with kid gloves. In one respect, yeah. Now, if this was an issue of Zay just not knowing how to give love, Zay not knowing how to Zay not knowing how to, open himself up or something like that, that would be different. In this, in that episode, they got into a disagreement, an argument. He left to go out. He stayed out overnight from around 12 a.m. to 8 a.m. He did not answer her calls. He turned his location off. He, kind of went off the grid. He came in at 8 o'clock extremely. He came in at 8 o'clock extremely drunk, still smelling like liquor, and became aggressive with her. He did not understand why it was a big deal that he was gone for those 8 hours, even though this is not something he has ever done. She has said that he always comes home around 2-ish when they have these type of arguments. So he chose to stay out until 8. He chose to stay out until 8. He then wanted to blame that on, well, I didn't know because growing up I didn't. To me, that doesn't make sense. That has nothing to do with me not being sympathetic to the way he grew up. I think that's horrible, absolutely horrible, that his parents and his family has abandoned him like that. I couldn't even fathom. Like I said, I grew up 2-parent household. I see my parents once a week. I talk to my parents on the phone. Like I don't have a perfect relationship with my parents by any means, because who does? But I have a good, solid relationship with my parents. I talked to both my mom and my dad this morning, right before I logged into work. So it is just weird to me how people are coddling Zay when in that particular moment he was wrong. He was wrong. I had a comment that said Ray's mom was like rude him and belittling him for his past. I didn't see it as that. I didn't. I think people are sympathetic to Zay and how Zay grew up and all that type of stuff. And it is something that you keep in your mental. So dealing with that person when they do certain things and you see certain behaviors that might be, okay, you didn't have the proper upbringing, you didn't have the love that you needed, so you might not know how to express it. But Zay does not have accountability either. Ray told him, you overtalk me. I feel not belittled, but I feel overpowered in different situations. I feel like I'm not being heard because when we're in the middle of an argument, you talk and talk and talk and talk and talk. That is literally the same thing that Shanique said. So it's not just that it's Ray and her family. This is something that Shanique, who has known him for about a month and a half at this point, this is something that she has seen. And when she tried to talk to him about it, he threw it back at, you're attacking the way I grew up, which was not the case at all. You see what I'm saying? So, but I appreciate the two of you that did comment. Beloved, I love your comments whenever you do. But I just want to explain that, like, it's not me belittling or not having sympathy for his past situation, but he does use it as a crutch and as a pass, which some people will do, even though they're sitting in their trauma. They will use it as a get out of jail free card sometimes, and that's what I think that he was doing in this particular situation. However, Zay deserves somebody who was able to better articulate their feelings for him. Ray was not the right person for him. He was trying to have these like intense conversations with her, these vulnerable moments, and she could never tell him what she liked about him. She could never tell him like that she was in love with him. Why do you want him to propose? She could never articulate that. And I think that he just needs to find somebody that is going to give him the type of love that he's looking for, and Ray was just not that girl. I'm sure he'll find somebody. He's an attractive man. He's emotionally there. He's able to sit and have those type of conversations. So Good luck to him. Good luck to him. I do think it sucks that he came there. Um, I do think it sucks that he came into that situation and ended up leaving single, but that was also a part of that's a part of the process. That's like a risk you take when you go and do these type of shows. So then we see April, and she said that single April is on the prowl, and she's looking for anyone that's ready to get married and have kids. Again, just kind of reinforcing the fact that I don't care who I'm with. It doesn't have to really be like I really love you. I just want to be married and have kids for the aesthetics, for the looks, for the optics of it. That's all it is. I will catch you guys after the reunion. Let me know how you guys felt about this particular episode. Do you think they made the right decisions? How do you feel about I almost called him Kendall. How do you feel about Randall and Shanique getting engaged? How do you feel about Kobe like really bombarding Madeline to get married right in that moment? Let's talk about it down below, and I will catch you guys in the next one.